A South African delegation is seeking permission to visit Hong Kong to take DNA samples from seized rhino horns, and today brings relief to a number of disadvantaged, elderly and child-headed households in the Eastern Cape. Ambusisiwa Khadeb with the latest news update. A South African delegation is seeking permission to visit Hong Kong to take DNA samples from seized rhino horns. Environmental Affairs Department spokesperson Albi Modise says officials have already informed their counterparts in China that they would like to cooperate with them on the seizure. Customs officials in Hong Kong have seized 33 rhino horns in a shipping container from South Africa. Modise says DNA tests on the horns will help establish where they came from and whether they were removed illegally. The number of rhinos poached since January stands at 366. Rwanda will import lions and rhinos from South Africa next year after its own wildlife was decimated by poaching and conflicts. Rwanda has only one rhino, while lions disappeared when refugees returning home after the 1994 genocide occupied parts of a national park. Tourism officials say they have begun fencing the park and work will be finished in February next year. Highly endangered mountain gorillas are Rwanda's main tourist attraction. The Western Cape government says it's considering installing more cameras along major routes into Cape Town and also reducing speed limits for minibus taxis. This follows the death of 20 people on Tuesday on the N1 near Prince Albert in the Little Karoo. The accident involved two minibus taxis which crashed into a stationary truck. Provincial Transport Minister Robin Kalal says early indications are that the taxis were travelling at very high speed.
The appalling way in which people die in these accidents, this simply can't be tolerated. One of the things that we're possibly going to have to look at is that 100-kilometre speed limit for minibus taxis. I would need to discuss this and get agreement from my national minister, Minister Ndebele.
And lastly, today brings relief to a number of disadvantaged, elderly and child-headed households whose members still have to carry heavy buckets to fetch water in a number of villages around the Ingquza Hill municipality in the Eastern Cape. One of the country's 4 leading banks, in partnership with the municipality and a local chief, are to hand over user-friendly and bigger capacity water hippo rollers. The 90-litre water tanks will be handed over to 600 disadvantaged households across 12 communities in Flagstaff and Lusigisigi. Unati Bengwaze reports.
Worth over 1 million rand, the water rollers can store a combined total of 54,000 litres of drinkable water and is estimated that each can serve up to 7 people per household. The rollers will be handy for the community, as some residents often have to travel long distances to fetch water, which they carry on their heads. The beneficiaries were identified in partnership with the local government. The water rollers are easy to use as they can be easily rolled along the ground by children and the elderly alike. Their big intake capacity also reduces the number of trips made to fetch water. Unatipin was SABC News, Lusigisigi.
Catch the latest news anytime here on Newsbreak Option 1.